Huples Cat and Wolfie Terrier. I just want to thank somebody else. I want to show you a few bits and pieces that I've constructed and found recently. Canadian camouflage, eh? Beautiful. One of the nicest examples I found, and there's a lot of examples. One of the first woodworking projects I did when I arrived here is I built that, and so far it's been raccoon proof and it's working quite well. It's broken a couple of times, been repaired a couple of times, but I'm quite pleased with it, and it was free. Built this yesterday. It's the world's most flimsiest old-fashioned sawhorse. Now you might be wondering why I built it so flimsy, because it is flimsy. The reason is huge logs aren't going to go in this, and small logs are going to be cut by hand. So it's actually designed for round pieces of log about that big. We're using the chainsaw. I actually made the height of this design for Kitty to use the chainsaw, not for myself. That's why I didn't do a compromise one. I actually made it to Kitty's size, because she's a little nervous with the chainsaw. And we'll see how that goes today. I do fully expect it to completely collapse on first use. But constructing that was an experience, and the more I do this stuff, the better I'm going to get at it. It's not designed for daily or even weekly or even monthly use. It's got a very specific process for this, so it's just for certain types of wood, and once those wood's gone it probably will get used maybe once a year or twice a year. So I made it specifically to be able to do this. I can easily carry this with one hand, and I'm certainly not strong, so I can move it around to where it's needed. So yeah, just dumping huge amounts of wood in this will break it, and you have to be careful with it, but taking care using a chainsaw is important. I do think the gap's a bit long. We'll see how that goes. Kitty was puzzled that I put this off the edge because she thought we'd put the wood there and slice it this way. That's something that on Mark 2 I might do, but on Mark 1 this is what I've got. This kind of thickness is about the upper end of it, and I probably won't use this. I'll probably shoot it on the ground. This type of wood, handsaw break, but this, it's heavy and pretty round. The weight of the wood is supported on this side and this side, so when you chainsaw from above here it shouldn't grab the blade. If you do go too fast and too furious, and you really shouldn't, you should take your time with this sort of stuff. You might hit this, it's not going to cause a huge amount of damage. The only thing that Kitty's concerned about, and I agree with her, if I put heavy wood on this and also the force of the chainsaw through the wood, it might just rip it apart, we'll see. Pretty much everything I saw online told me to use bolts. I used screws because that's what I had. Everything online told me to use much thicker pieces of wood. I had one of them and I needed 10 of them for the project. And I looked around and I decided I wasn't going to buy 9 pieces of wood for this project. This is leftover construction wood, and we'll see how it goes. This is probably the last sunny day in south central Ontario until winter comes, so we're going to thoroughly enjoy it. And the other thing we're going to thoroughly enjoy, which we will have a little video up for you, is you'll notice this week it's going to be a lot of the old summer videos that haven't been shown yet from Ottawa. We're going back to Ottawa for 2 nights because it was Kitty's birthday a couple of days ago, and I've sprung for a nice hotel, and she's going to go and do something she's never done before that gives her a lot of pleasure. No, not that. We're going to be in the audience for a live taping of a CBC One radio show called The Debaters, and I like it as well. That should be a lot of fun. I think we see 4 or 6 shows filmed while we're in the audience. So Wolfie's going with us, and he's going to spend 2 days and 2 nights with his foster family in Ottawa, who he loves, and they love him. And I'm not going to promote them because they're not actually taking any guests right now, but they are taking Wolfie because they love the little twerp, and he's doing great with his leg. So after the felling I got rid of all the wood, except for this piece here, which actually is rotten. It must have come down well before we did the lumbering, but this is well open now. I got rid of the 2 piles of beech that were here because if you leave wood on the ground it rots, and I didn't want it to rot, but it also has to be in sunlight for most of the day, so I had to move it. So this is our proposed chainsawing operation. Obviously a lot of those pieces and these pieces are going to be cut on there. But principally it's to thank Mary. She sent me this a while ago and I thought I'd got it up and running, and I haven't. So I'm going to get it up and running, and I'm going to do a little video on it. I do prefer single-use bits, but having reusable's good. One thing I've noticed straight away is this isn't full anymore. It's going to evaporate over the years. So Wolfie thanks Mary for that. And thank you for watching and taking the time. Have an absolutely fabulous week. Have a great day. And always remember to live life. Prep, but live life. Toodles. This video is a 9-toed terrier production 2022.